Hi, my name is Chamika Godagedara. I'm the director of Spectrum House Private Limited.
Hi, my name is Sanjaya Samaratunga. I am the owner and the marketing director of Azbow.
We as an advertising agency, we are specialized in education marketing.
So we're a 50-50 digital agency and a software firm.
So we are working with many international and local education institutes, helping them enter into the market and doing their lead generation and also brand development.
So digital agency-wise, we handle some of the biggest retailers in the country, as well as many clients. Plus, on our social software terms, we have developed some of the top apps in Sri Lanka, as well as we do tailor-made software development.
From the Cubicle.
Explain the rise of e-commerce.
The rise of e-commerce, so basically we can break it down into two different segments, before the pandemic and after the pandemic. So as you're very aware, after the pandemic, it has become a definite norm on the market itself. So people are actually prefer the online experience rather than visiting brick and mortar right now. So comparing those two, the rise of e-commerce has definitely become an essential, daily essential, a norm.
So I would say it's basically now the technology these days are very popular and everybody has access to the latest technology. So it gives the marketeers and also the companies to build their brand in digital space. So on with the future development also, I believe with the technology getting advanced and more accessible for the everybody, I believe it's becoming very popular.
What do you think is the next major trend in digital marketing?
The next major trend in digital marketing, I would have definitely say personalization, because we are moving into a segment where all the content, definitely through big data learning, people are seeing more and more personalized content for their preference on whatever they see as advertisement itself on the internet gets more and more personalized, but therefore there's another risk of privacy as well. So a good balance between personalization and privacy is the key advancement in digital media, digital advertising, and of course e-commerce in the future.
So adding to what Sanjay said, it's definitely a personalization in digital storytelling, especially in the market that I represent, education marketing. We have needs of people looking for a different experience, especially the students want to study locally, they want to go study abroad, and their requirement is different, they are requiring different lifestyle. So what if we can create a different personalized content for them, so they understand this is what they required is. So I basically believe definitely yes, personalization in digital storytelling would be the next big trend. Add on to that, the development in IoT, I believe going to become a huge part of this as well. And so it's not only about creating videos or content, images or anything. We can even personalize whatever the content that we do in our sales funnels, in the marketing funnels. So whatever the thing we do to reach a particular single customer in personalized way would definitely grab the attention. I think that way in the micro level influencer also have a good chance of creating content for that particular clients, and definitely it's going to be a huge trend.
How has the current dollar crisis affected your line of work?
Obvious tough one. So most of the services that we actually acquire are through foreign payments, but then again as a digital agency we work with both local clients as well as international clients, so it's a matter of balancing between the two and setting off the differences. So in a single word, it hasn't affected as much as it should.
Yeah, so the dollar crisis become a crisis for us, to be honest, because now everything we have to convert to rupees and we have to ask them from our client actually. So client itself have a different budgeting thing going on. So we have to minimize some of our budget in order to run campaigns specially. And even every services has been, their price has been increased because of this crisis. I think we are trying our very best to cope up with the situation, but end of the day, digital advertising is what keeping brands alive in sort of in this era. Anyhow, they have to invest on this thing, and we are doing our very best to minimize the other cost and do the work as how they prefer.
What are the most important qualities for a digital marketer?
The most important quality for a digital marketer, I would say common sense, because there's a lot of process involved in it. You have to learn a client's business. You gotta learn or introduce them a method that we can make it better. We need to create brand new content. We need to advertise in a smart way, because you know that now advertising is completely different. As I said earlier, it's personalized. So the first content that you show to a potential buyer, you can't show that same content to the on the second run, because we need to show something continuous. So likewise, we need to create campaigns, create advertisements, create content in a smart way, and a digital marketer need to have that particular set of common sense to understand how to best cater, because every single client, even on the same let's say spectrum, same industry, especially on retail, everyone sets apart. They have individual and different key selling points. So attending to all of these and amplifying that as much as possible, then of course tapping the utmost correct targeted audience in order to save as much as ad budgets as possible and to give the biggest return as their ROI. A person needs to have proper common sense.
Yeah, so adding to what Sanjay said, I definitely agree with that, and I really like every digital marketer mold themselves as an artist actually. Because end of the day, what you are doing is you are selling a product and you need to bring color to it, and you need to have a creative ideas to brand that thing, to make a design even. So you definitely need to have a mold yourself as an artist. Treat it, everything you do, treat it as your masterpiece, and end of the day you will enjoy that thing. And apart from that, definitely your attitude need to be in right place, because you get to work with a lot of people, a lot of different people, and you need to have a great attitude and definitely good communication skill, because you need to build your PR skill definitely, because you are working with different people with a different background, and sometimes you need to maintain your professionalism into the highest point. So yeah.
How do you address negative feedback regarding your company or client?
So when it comes to the top level retailers or other companies that we handle with, regardless how much of good feedback they have, there's a portion of negative feedback. And if you centralize that negative feedback through a social media or any other platforms that they have, that negative feedback, regardless, even if it's 1% of a negative feedback, depending on the major volume that they handle, the negative feedback looks bigger. So the best practice that we have always done in handling negative feedback is to response. Never boycott a message, never not reply to a complaint that a person has, even if we can't resolve it then and there, to keep on responding, to keep on giving them the assurance that a solution is at least on the way.
So definitely it's all about keeping it real and keeping it honest. And there are two types of errors that we can measure. One is human error and one is technical errors. So if the human errors happen, we need to find a solution, and we need to keep having the communication with our client, and how this happened and what are the precautions that we have taken that it will not happen in the future. and we have to leverage our social media presence after that. And because end of the day, the credibility doesn't comes overnight. You have to keep working for that thing. You have to do good things. You have to have more conversations with your client, with your customers, and explain what are the little things that you have implemented to avoid all these negative comments, and if such a thing happen, how you manage it, and how you will be doing your good service. So definitely you have to have you have to keep it real, and you have to be very honest, and we can sort it that way, definitely.
How much flexibility do you have in determining how you perform your job?
It definitely depends on the client, the project, and the scope itself. So, of course, I'd always prefer to run a pre-game before the game itself. Scheduling is key, discussing what the outcome is, sample work, sample content, all of that has to be put in a perfect way where we definitely would make a plan before execution, but a planned plan will never go according to the schedule that we make. There will at least be 5 to 10% of a change during the campaign itself. So being flexible enough to not to spoil the campaign, not to spoil the end goal objective, but still take the feedback, still adjust accordingly. Being flexible to that particular level will definitely ensure through our experience that we'll have a smooth campaign with a proper ROI.
Definitely the flexibility word itself is what we generally do. I mean, you have to be flexible in every way when you are working with clients, and once you have a right understanding about the project and you plan ahead about what other things have to be done, and some way you have to understand these sort of problem might happen, and you prepare for those things and execute within a plan, and be accountable for what you do, and being more flexible. End of the day, it's the main important part actually.
What do you find unique about your career field?
That's a very nice question. The interesting itself is the people that we meet, because unlike any other career path, we tend to move from different field to one field. So basically it's never ever the same thing. We specialize in retail, but retail is such a vast area of expertise and products and services. So every client is different, everyone wants a different output. We get to meet more people, meet new people, collaborate with new ideas, and of course digital marketing is ever evolving. So it's a constant learning phase, a learning career that we have, where we have to quickly adapt to the next thing, the next big thing which is coming, or to be a one step ahead of the game. So the most exciting thing about this particular career field is just that, meeting new people, having new experiences.
For me, definitely it's all about I can keep myself updated every day, get to learn new things, because I love to do that thing. Me being a software engineer, actually, then later I become a digital marketer with my what we call software experience, I mean the IT experience. I always love to learn many things, and what excited about this thing is that I get to meet so many different people with a different background, and have different vision of their life and their life goals. So I get to redefine my goals, life goals actually. So that's fascinating for me, basically, yes.
What are some areas of growth in this field?
Especially in the digital marketing field, I think the biggest growth as Sri Lankans what we need is having more flexibility with online payments and actually receiving funds from overseas, especially with everyone has heard of the issue that we can't get PayPal to Sri Lanka, the ban of PayPal or ban of other world-renowned payment gateway systems like Stripe, and of course not using enough cryptocurrency on the things that we do, because especially with the dollar crisis, the devaluation of the rupee, those are some of the biggest things that we can implement in to get more money, more foreign currency and more equity to Sri Lanka and to the people who are working here. That will of course in long term will definitely benefit the government as well. So having payment gateways like PayPal, where you can earn money and bring down money to the local market, and as well as investing on cryptocurrency, are things that we see as potential developments in this particular field.
Yeah, I basically believe it's all about not only about digital marketing. So understanding the digital aspect of what marketing is, it's a combination of a lot of things. Actually, nowadays IoT is playing a huge role in this industry. So development of IoT and people who just come in from the marketing background, if they can learn so many IoT things, what the Internet of Things doing, how it can affect to the company, and what sort of digital element we can bring into the to automation, to do the automation in your marketing or sales pipeline. I think that would be the main important part of it. So biggest development I see right now is the IoT, and I definitely recommend digital marketers to follow that thing and get to know those technologies.
If you had one piece of advice to someone just starting out, what would it be?
For a newcomer to digital marketing itself, one of the best ideas that advice that I can actually give is to try and come up with original ideas as much as possible, because this is a market, this is a segment, and this is a competitive area there where you need to stand out with your concepts, with your creatives. So basically, even getting work through different clients, retailers, or any other people on the market, the better the concept that you have, the better chances of you landing new jobs itself, because no one would want us to do the same old social media marketing that everyone is doing. They will always expect, the client will always expect us to come up with something brand new, something unique, something that will stand out. The biggest advantage that you can have something that is organic and viral is you really can get the campaigns out there and spend so much less money compared on advertising if your content is that good. And even if you're advertising with an advertising budget, the campaign will be so much more amplified if the concept is better. So run through different concepts, look at what the agencies all around the world are doing, and try to create unique concepts that can go like a wildfire.
Yeah, so definitely, as I said earlier, I would definitely recommend them to mold themselves as an artist, because end of the day, knowing the technical aspect of it is not the only thing required to become a digital marketer. It's very easy thing right now, because there are a lot of online tutorials you can learn. It's not a rocket science anymore. The only thing is, if you can bring the creative ideas, right? The different color to the product that you are selling or the brand that you are selling, that is what's the most important requirement in digital marketing. So you understand you need to have a creative point of it, and also you can combine the technological part for it, and then you can execute it. So most importantly, mold them yourself as an artist, understand what fine art is, and try to even become a designer actually. Try to even do your own videos and understand how it works, and what are the elements that you can bring into the custom experience, because end of the day, the most important part is the customer's experience. You have to reach for that thing. if your contents is welcome to the, if your content are going to the customers only, you will be succeeded in this industry. And definitely you need to maintain your standard, like you have to keep updating yourself, learn good thing. And as I mentioned before, IoT is the other main important part. Combine yourself with the digital marketing and the IoT, so you will get succeeded very soon.
From the Cubicle.
How do you define success?
Defining success for me is mainly two segments. As an entrepreneur, I would like to see my clients' growth as well as my employees' growth internally. So for me, success is my clients thriving, and of course my employee having the life that they deserve.
Definitely, yes. I completely agree with what Sanjay said. So end of the day, it's, this digital marketing is not only about you. We have people working with us, and our clients rely on us. So success is, everybody should success. It's not only one way thing. And so we can earn money, it's a different story, but end of the day everybody should be happy because they should live the life that they really dreamt about. So I believe, yes, success is seeing everybody's success and being success together.
What do you think about this program?
This program, when I got actually invited, I looked at the other clips that were there online as well. I do believe that it's not exactly pinning two people in the same industry, but it sort of is, isn't it? So actually knowing the insights on how they work and seeing how similar they are, and the learnings that I've actually gotten from this segment alone, as well as looking at the previous segments, I think it's really brilliant. And you all come to one page, and I find it amusing in a different way as well.
Yeah, it's actually good for the newcomers, to be honest, and so we can share our ideas. We had impressed ourselves and what we are doing in the industry, and how we think about this our profession. And so yes, it's I'm glad to be here, and I think it's a very good segment for the everybody who are keen on understanding what's corporate sector do. Because corporate sector especially, it's not an easy thing to live in. A lot of pressure is here, but you can enjoy your work. It's easy. So I think this is a great platform to express ourselves also, and discuss about what we have been going through and what is our future plans. And I'm really glad this program is here. So yeah.